Now, there are many ways to process purchases and sales. So for example, you could start with a quote, you can start with a blanket order, and so on. But in this module, we will focus on the typical purchase and sales processes, and they will look as follows. So for purchase processes, the central purchasing document is a purchase order. And if you purchase items, you will see that we will receive items which will result in a posted receipt and which will update the inventory, so the item. And then we will also receive the invoice from the vendor, which means that we can also post the purchase invoice, which will result in a posted invoice that will update the general ledger by updating the chart of accounts and will also update the item. So also the vendor card will be updated, and based on that update, the final step in a typical purchasing process is the issuing of the payment, and that will of course also update the vendor card and the chart of accounts. Now we will see something similar for a typical sales process. However, in a lot of cases you will see that such a typical sales process will start with a sales quote. So customers, companies first want to have a quote before they will actually decide if they will purchase or not, which means that if they decide to purchase, we can convert the quote to an order, and then we can start shipping the items from the order. So we will post the shipment, which will result in a posted shipment, which will also result in this case in updating the inventory and the item. Then we will also invoice the customer, and that's something that we will do by posting the invoice, which will result in a posted invoice, and that posted invoice again will update the chart of accounts and also the item. Also the customer card is updated, which means that also here the last step is recording the payment, and in this case the customer payment, that will update the chart of accounts and will update the customer card.